Hi, everybody. Welcome back to Client Side Chats. We have a great special guest with us today, Heather Pearl. Hi, Heather. How are you doing?
Hey James, how are you?
I'm doing well. Hey, Heather, tell everybody what you do.
So I'm the EHS manager at a biotech company called Calico Life Sciences, and yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Yeah, and in fact, I do remember when you started at Calico Life Sciences because you used to work for us, and I'm
Right.
really sad that you don't now. But I have to tell you, it's been a great move for you. I know it's an area that you love and you have a lot of passion for. So I know it was, I understand. So that's no problem whatsoever. And I'm glad we've stayed in touch over the years. I know you've been very successful with what you're doing. Um, and speaking of that. That's really what we're talking about here today is share a success story, if you don't mind, from safety with us. What is it? What made it successful? Those kinds of things, if you don't mind.
Okay. Originally I was going to talk about a big project we did, but I actually wanted to talk today about sort of the small successes in safety. Some of the little
Ah,
things that really make, I think, my day to day worthwhile, and the larger struggles worthwhile, and also really have shown when you get that switch from being, the police, the EHS police, versus being someone that they want to come to and
so
help.
kind of like the aha moment. Ah, there's a value to safety here. Got it. So now
Yeah,
please
so
go. Keep going.
I've noticed when a lot of, especially when we've had new people coming on board, that they have preconceived conceptions of what EHS is, and it's usually negative.
Oh,
So I think a lot of what I've seen in the past couple of years working with people at my place of work is sort of teaching them that EHS is actually there to help. We're your partner. We're not really there to police you and force you to do things you don't want to do. And
yeah.
ways we've done that is just to be more approachable. And, we've got a new hire onboarding that I do. So I do a one-on-one onboarding with every single person who gets hired on board.
Wow.
And that initial meeting, I think, is really an important first step. So they get to know who you are. They have a face and a name that they can come to. And then it also helps me because I'll get to talk with them about what they think they're going to be doing. We can talk about stuff that's important to them. And it starts that process so that you're not just some nameless, person telling them what to do. You're a real person. And so I've seen a big change once we started doing that with some of our new people coming on board, that they're less skeptical of coming and talking to us.
Uh-huh.
Um, and even some of our processes too, we've tried to make them still, even like reporting and illness and injury reporting, we still require that, but trying to make it not burdensome on the people reporting the injury.
Mm.
So I've heard tale of some people coming in where they've got 6 different supervisors that have to check off anytime there's an injury or illness, so they don't want to report it. And making that process easy for them has really, I think, increased their willingness to talk to us about things and let us know when stuff has happened, so that they don't feel like they're being penalized for trying to do the right thing, not taking up all of their time.
Got it.
Yeah.
And if I may be so bold and interject here, sort of two of the things that I take away from this so far has been that one-on-one personalizes it
Yeah.
for the employees they come through. And I know that has to be an incredible demand on your time resource
Yeah.
because
It's a lot.
Calico Life Sciences isn't exactly small.
Yeah,
So yeah.
we were little when I started. We're up to about, I think, 250 people or so now, somewhere around
Mm-hmm.
there. But yeah, it's a lot of work to do that one-on-one training. So normally I'll try and set up just one a week, and we'll get whoever's coming on board. But it doesn't always work out with scheduling. So sometimes you are just doing them with one person at a time when it works.
Right.
Um, and
Right.
the other thing that I'll see after really starting to develop these relationships is people are coming now when they have new projects. It's still we still don't have a good system in place where every project gets checked off and it's notified to all the different parties who it may affect, because we're a startup and we're still building a lot of that.
Right.
But I am getting now people coming to us when they have new projects, or say, like, I had one the other day where they were bringing in blood samples into a lab that's not a BSL-2 lab,
Mm,
and the equipment doesn't fit into, appropriate safety
yeah.
cabinets or other things. So how do they make that happen and do it safely? Because there's other people in there using the same equipment with non-hazardous substances. So,
Right.
working through those issues and finding ways to make those those things happen, and making the research happen in a way where they can do the research and not have to worry about it. We work together, and that's what makes it really fun for me, but also I think is showing that we are building those relationships.
Yeah. That's great. And I know really it seems like a lot of work, and it is a lot of work. I'm
It
not
is a
trying to downplay that, but what happens is it's less work on the opposite side of having to do so many investigations because people are actually embracing this and getting you involved earlier in the process.
right.
So it's a great investment.
Yeah, because I mean, trying to do the back end where you see something that's already happening and it's not done well, or you have to stop it and be like, wait, no, like that. That usually is much more upsetting to the researchers, but also it takes more time because then you have to rewind and restart, and it becomes a burden rather than just a partnership and building it into the beginning of the process.
Right, right. Well, good. That's excellent. And I could see that whole thing too with the reporting aspect. Oh boy, if it's going to be that much of a pain in the neck, I'm just going to treat it as a first aid and not even really tell you.
Right.
That doesn't help you from your knowledge base that you want to gain, from the stats of what's occurring so you can go address those issues, right? Yeah. That's
So
pretty good.
letting
That's
them know really we just want to take care of them and make sure everything's okay, and
yeah.
it's sort of the
Yeah.
approach we take rather than having to make them check off a bunch of boxes.
Yeah, no, totally understand. That's great. That's great. There's a real value. What a surprise. That's wonderful. So, well, Heather, thank you for joining us today. Anything else you want to close with at all? Anything about any of the new things you're working on or the exciting stuff or anything like that?
No, I mean, we always have interesting new research coming on board. So
That's good. Well, never a dull day as a safety
yeah,
professional, I can tell you
yeah.
that.
It's
So,
discovery research, so there's always something new around the corner. Yeah.
That's great. That's great. Okay. Well, thank you, Heather, for joining us today. Greatly appreciate it. Look
Yeah.
forward to chatting with you again in the future and sharing some more successes with you. And yeah, all right. Take care. Be safe.
Thank you.